Hey y'all, I just want to say before you get into this awesome little review of Lake, there is some audio glitches. I don't know what it was and I couldn't recreate it and I couldn't get rid of it. So, towards the end, there's some audio glitches. So, if you could just bear with me and I'll figure it out for the next video because I don't know where they came from. But thank you for watching this. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff, and enjoy this little Lake review. Get ready to step back into 1986 in the small town of Providence Oaks, Oregon. You play as Meredith Weiss, a big-time city programmer who comes back home for 2 weeks to take over for her father as a mail carrier. And as you're there, you get to meet new and old friends alike, solve some of the town's problems, and maybe fall in love, if that's what you choose. So right off the bat, I played with a mouse and keyboard, but this really does feel like it should be played with a controller, or at least that would be the preferable way to play. It's not unplayable, but maybe on my second playthrough I'll fire up the controller and plug it in and play it that way. The mouse just whips the camera around way too fast, and the camera likes to right back to the front, like a front-facing view, so you can, drive around. However, Lake ran really well. There was no crashes, and it was buggy a fair few times, but it never crashed on me. The town AI isn't perfect, but they do obey traffic laws, they stay on the roads or sidewalks, and they don't run you over. And there's nothing more that I could ask for. Providence Oaks is a teeny tiny little small town in Oregon. If there's maybe 100 people in this town, I would be surprised. But it's an idyllic small town that we've either been to, we grew up in, or we've seen in the media. Lake is bathed in that simple yet thoughtful visuals. It's like a mix of the Harry Potter phone game and the epic style. You know, the epic style, like the Fortnite style, which is usually off-putting to me, but here it just works so well, and I couldn't help but fall in love with just the little visuals they had going on here. It's very hard also to not think of Alan Wake, especially now that the remaster has been announced, but the town is almost the same setup. It's a small town surrounded by a lake with cabins and amenities along that road that you can drive along, and cabins in the back. There's even a little writer that you deliver a package to, which is a nice little nod to Alan Wake in my opinion. Lake is a weirdly fast yet weirdly slow game, and I don't know how to explain it properly. Maybe you're seeing it in the gameplay. The days are long and delivering packages can take a bit of time, but the nights are over so quickly. There are a few options on what you can do at night, like you can go out on dates, or you can watch a movie, or you can read, or you can watch TV, or you can not interact with the town at all and not go out on dates or go out on town or participate in anything, which is not a fun way to play. You can also have some interaction in those night scenes, but not a lot unless you're choosing dialogue, which makes me wish the night scenes were longer and you could do more, like you could actually be an active participant in the story at night. Or you could go for like night walks around the town, because that would be cool. That would be cool. Or you could go to the diner by yourself, or the arcade, go play the arcade games, or, go have some pie on your own. I just wish there was a little bit more autonomy. Is that the word? Autonomy? For the game at night. Because the day is pretty open and standard, and you can do a lot. But at night, where the good stuff happens, you're just a participant. Barely. Now, while the nights did leave me wanting to explore the town more and, wishing for more than this little, toe dip in, the voice acting leaves me thoroughly satisfied. There are a few times where it's a little stilted, but that's down to more like the audio engineering and the timing, and not the voice actors. Meredith is a likable character with a honest, valid range of emotions in her voice depending on the dialogue options you choose. It's easy to see that the voice acting cast knew what they were doing in the booth. Actually, every single person was an enjoyable voice to listen to. There was nobody that was off-putting or weird, and even the people you didn't hear from a lot, was still fun to listen to. And there's a lot of double dipping. I don't know if that's the correct term, but you know, one person would do multiple voices, which they all killed it. They did an amazing job. Lake is a game that is not going to be for everybody, let's be honest. It is a slow down and enjoy the story type of game. It's a personal reflection type of game almost as well. The gameplay is you delivering packages in your mail truck Goose. It's not a Death Stranding, seeing how many packages you can carry with your robot and all that stuff. It's nothing like that. You get to talk to the people around the town of Providence Oaks. You can choose to help them with their problems, like Robert, or you can ignore them completely, which that's a boring way to play the game. Why would you ever play a game and not explore the options? You can also take photos around town, and you can even enter a photo into the photo contest. That's why I wish you could go out at night too, because I bet you some of the pictures down Main Street would have been amazing at night. I've been to those small towns. I've grown up around small towns like that. Usually at night is when they're the prettiest, in my opinion. Now, I did say there was some bugs, and I had this one bug where I was talking to Lori, the little mechanic girl. She was so cool. But I was talking to her at the gas station, and at the start of the cutscene, it teleported us to Moe's Diner. It left a mail truck at the gas station, and Lori was stuck in her working on a car animation because that's what she was doing when I pulled up to talk to her. But she was doing it in front of the arcade machine now. It's buggy, it has a few things wrong, but it doesn't take away from the experience I had. It's a good thing you can fast travel to points and be in that truck, even if you're not in the mail truck, even if you're not in Goose, because I love the name that was chosen for it. You can fast travel and you'll be in the truck. You don't even have to be in the truck to fast travel, which is nice. Otherwise, it would have been a 20-minute walk back from that bug because you can't run, and that probably would have stopped this review right in its tracks if fast traveling was not an option. Somehow, this game made me obey traffic laws as well. I don't know how, and I don't know why. There are no consequences for hitting things or running off the road. You can reset the truck if it runs off the road and gets stuck. Yet it had me checking both ways and stopping at stop signs. There's also an auto drive mode, which is probably the buggiest the game will ever get, and most of the problems I had from the game came from the auto drive mode. The truck can, run off the road, it can spin in place or get stuck behind AI traffic, or even clip through AI traffic and then get flung across the map. It is what it is. But yeah, I couldn't stop obeying the traffic laws, and I don't know why. I don't know why. The map is a good size. It's decent to drive around, and Goose, the mail truck, because the name is Goose, it gets cooking. Like, Goose goes fast. I will say, there's a lot to love about this game for multiple reasons. Hopefully I've listed some of them. Lake just holds so much replayability in the story that there's multiple endings and multiple dialogue options and multiple things you can do in the story. For such a small, compact, tight little game, I was definitely surprised, because when I first saw this on the Wholesome Direct at E3, I was like, it's set in the 80s, I just gotta see what this is about. And I have yet to be disappointed, and I'm about to start my second playthrough. Lake lets you choose if you want to help people out or ignore people, like I said with Robert and the apartments. You can reconnect with people, like your old friend Faye, or you can remain isolated. You also have a planner to keep track of everything, but I found that even if you say yes to everything, nothing conflicts. The game, it makes it seem like it would, but the game schedules it all and nothing conflicts, and you can do multiple things on one day. It's really cool. Just say yes to everything. If you choose to fall in love, you can, and from what I've seen, there's only 2 love interests, but I could be wrong there. And if you are, LGBTQ, there is an option for that too. Just saying, if you want. It would be a real disservice not to play this game multiple times, and with its relatively short length at 6.5 hours, at least that's what it took me for one playthrough, it's not a chore to get through. Although the gameplay for some may be a little tedious, but people that say this are tedious are also people I've seen grind out Destiny or me play Assassin's Creed over and over again, so come on, don't say that. I'll definitely be replaying this. It's not that I'm upset with my ending. I chose what my heart wanted and what I felt was right for my first playthrough. I just want to see more of what this game has, and I love spending time in this little town. And I want to see more options and dialogue options and making not the best choices or something. I want to spend more time in Lake and in Providence Oaks. And me wanting to spend time and come back to this game does not mean it is perfect. It has clipping issues, and there's some buggy AI and glitches. I do wish it had a better soundtrack as well. They didn't need to go licensing hits of the 80s, because that is very expensive for an indie studio, but something would have been better than the few songs you hear over and over. There is an original song at the end, which I did love, but I would have liked it to be more than, I think honestly, it felt like there was probably 2 or 3 songs that kept playing over and over. There's tons of great indie artists that could have made some banging sounding 80s songs that they could have reached out for. I know a few off the top of my head. But soundtrack and a few AI glitches aside, it did not take away from how much I immensely enjoyed Lake. It's a game with good writing, great voice acting, and the ability to tell a story that keeps you hooked in. It is a tad shallow at times, but for 6 hours, it gave me everything I expected out of it. It makes you slow down. It makes you evaluate life and enjoy a simplistic game. There's twists, there's mail carrying, there's love if you want it, and a small American town to explore. I feel you should play this little indie game. That's why I haven't told you guys the story. And if you have, let me know, or if you will, let me know as well. Thank you guys for watching. This is such I'm glad I was doing the wholesome direct this year. I'm glad I didn't miss out on this, otherwise I would have missed out on this game. It's definitely worth a play. And let me know in the comment section what you want to see next. Could be a retrospective, it could be a review. If you want to see the written review of this, it is on Level 1 Gaming. I hope you guys know I co-founded Level 1 Gaming with a bunch of friends, and that's where all my time has been. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know what you want to see, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.